Welcome back to the shop, guys. Today we're going to go over the tools I think you must have if you're changing ATV, side-by-sides, anything motorsports related. And we're going to go over some of the tools that I use every day doing tires. And we're going to start over here with the easy stuff. These right here, you always have an assortment of tire irons and stuff. Like this is a Harbor Freight one right here. But these little ones right here are so much handier on the small ones. Makes your life so much easier. This is just a cheap set off of eBay. I think I paid like $20 for this set. It's a must-have set to have these tire spoons for the smaller tires. Definitely worth. I mean, you'll want, for your big tires, you want some of that. Some of these bigger ones. And maybe even one of those. But these are definitely a must-have. I believe you should have this in your set if you're doing power sport tires. Another thing is your valve tools for taking out the valve stems, and also screw this one on there and pop the new valve stems in when doing valve stems. Most real handy. And you also want to be like, change tires out. You want to take that valve core out to put as much pressure in there to pop the bead too, which will go on to the next subject, is a bead blaster. Some tires you don't have to. I consider it a good day when I don't have to use this, because even sometimes when I have to use this, it still could be a pain. Sometimes I gotta use a mixture of this and a ratchet strap all together to pop a bead on. It's better if you can like set. I did a video one time. I put some 2x4s in the tire and set it out in the sun. If you have time to do that, it's really worth it. I'm actually gonna put the video in the link to that. Another thing is you can use vice grips, but you might mar your tires. These right here are pretty cheap. They're like $20 a set. These are to me like a third set of hands when dealing with tires. This is holds the tire down in place on one side, holds the lip down, so it makes it easier when going through and putting tires on. Even with the machine, I even use it with the machine. I use it when I have to do a tire by hand, because there's times, even though I got a machine, I got to do it by hand. This is just a very handy to have. There's some tires that you just can't do without either having those or a pair of vice grips. But again, these are plastic, so they don't mar up they don't damage your wheel that you're working on. You don't want to damage your customer's wheel. Another thing, big old tub of bead sealer. I like on four-wheeler tires to put a little bit of bead sealer and stuff on there. Stuff where people are putting it in extreme conditions, you know. I like to use a little bit of bead sealer. This right here, if you got to patch tires, this is a tool for patching tires. Use this right here to rough up. I got this at O'Reilly's, and then this is just like this little pizza roller thing. You kind of use this to do your thing, and then you would need like a pick to pop your thing off. It's a process. One day I'll do a video on patching tires, but right now we're just going to talk about tools, and this is one of the ones. If you're going to do patches, you'll need this tool. All right. So we went from patches. So now what if you need to do a quick job? And we all do them, especially on side-by-sides and four-wheelers. If you're going to be working on side-by-sides and four-wheelers, tires and stuff, you should always have your plug kit, because sometimes a tire is only worth the plug. Sometimes, from personal stuff, I'll plug quite often. But sometimes that's all a customer wants is a plug. I mean, you gotta remember there's spots where you can patch and plug that you can't patch and plug. Like you should do sidewalls. There's you got a certain amount of tire. I'll go through that in another video sometime. And then last but not least, an impact. Having a 1/2-inch impact and a bunch of lug nut sockets. Socket size you need is handy. Sitting out there. And then, I mean, this is what I use, and I did most of these by hand for years before I got the machine. But let me tell you what, the machine is a game changer. Not gonna lie, the most part I use is not even the tire part of it, it's the bead breaker on the bottom. I use that probably more than anything, even on smaller tires. So anyway, guys, this is a walkthrough of some of the tools I believe you should have if you're doing ATV and side-by-side tires. So I'll try to put some links down here in the description for some of these tools like this. There's just really handy stuff to have when you're doing tires. Anyway, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this out. I'll see y'all next time in the shop. Thanks for watching, guys.